Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's been a little minute. Excuse the camera angle. That's all I got right now. I don't got like a. Honestly, I don't really know where else to put the shit, if I'm being honest. Um, I got that little GPS shit, but the angle is actually worse on that for some reason. Oh. So, I guess this is all you stuck with. And it's dark to make it worse, so you can't even see my black ass to begin with, but you can hear my beautiful voice, and that's all you need to. That's all you need to hear. But because it's been a while, I feel like I got a lot to talk about. Um, I could never continue a series because I feel myself. So by the time I get to crunch time, man, I'm so fucked up that I just don't got the wherewithal.
At the stop sign, turn at the light, turn right onto North La Brea Avenue.
I don't have the wherewithal, the energy, the anything to really be able to crank out any videos or anything like that. So I always
In 4.8 miles, turn right to merge onto I-10 West.
So I always fall off that last month or so. Sometimes before then, the last 6 weeks, I probably fall off of the vlogs, unfortunately. So I don't know. One of these days, I would love to finish a prep vlog, but I haven't in a long time. So I'm just gonna have to pay somebody to do it straight up. So um, next prep, I'm gonna pay somebody right when I get to like 6 weeks out. And when is next prep, you ask? I'm not gonna tell you yet. And not because I'm trying to be cool or I think I'm special or somebody who people care about enough to to try to do some mystique or some shit. Not because of that. Honestly, just because I'm not 100% certain because I have to need to fix the camera. Only because I'm about 75% 75% certain because there's so many other factors in my personal life and just my making sure my body's in the right place to prep, etc. That I have to make sure is everything is good to go. Not even just blood work wise, but response wise and recovery wise. Recovery been a bitch for me. So yeah. So before I could say I'm doing this show for sure, I would have to. I would have to make sure it's for sure. But it's not like it's a fucking. It's not like a fucking secret what national shows are available, right? I just did the USA's and we got North Americans, right? In 3 weeks. Then we got Amateur O in like 9 weeks, 9.5 weeks, 10 weeks, something like that. Let's say 10 weeks or under 10 weeks. Um, then we got Nationals in December. It's about 20-ish weeks ish. Then we got the Arnold Amateur the following year, March. Then back to USA. So what is that? One, two, three, four shows before USA's. So it's gonna be one of them, right? So um, 3 weeks doesn't really give me time to make sure everything is good, but also 3 weeks is short enough that it doesn't fucking matter. Well, I won't say it doesn't fucking matter if shit's good, but you know, I'm probably not gonna drop dead in the next 3 weeks, hopefully. So obviously, you can go 3 weeks not being at optimal fucking health markers or even recovery. Recovery can still be on the shittier side for another 3 weeks, before you get back to baseline. Get back to baseline. That's what the coaches say. Yeah, baseline. Gotta get back to baseline. And that wasn't supposed to be like a white guy voice. That was supposed to be like my professional voice. But it probably sounded like a white guy voice. Anyways, it's like a rabbi army over there. Am I allowed to say that? Is that like a... You never know these days. Am I allowed to say that? Is that like a... I wouldn't imagine that would be like offensive to say that. Right? What if a Jewish guy said, yo, there goes like a... What's the equivalent to a rabbi army? They go with like a black army. Yeah, that probably sound a little... That might sound a little racist, probably. You see? The double standard in life. I mean, that wouldn't bother me particularly. I'm just saying generally, socially, that would probably sound off to people. But I don't give a fuck. I mean, I got real shit to think about. So, anyways, I keep getting off tangent. Too much carbs. Yeah, so I said about 4 shows there before USA. So it's gonna be one of them. Probably not gonna be North Americans because I have things to attend to that staying in prep another 3 weeks wouldn't be my best bet. So I won't do that, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but I feel like people kind of was looking forward for me to do that, or excited for me to do that, or just thought it would be a good idea, which I do think it's a good idea. And maybe if I didn't do the show before the USA's, maybe I would have done that because that was the plan. But plans are subject to change based off of what's going on and feedback and stuff like that. If I was out of shape, not out of shape, if I wasn't in shape, if one of the critiques for my USA look was you're not hard enough, get harder, North Americans would make more sense, right? Because it would be like, okay, if you're telling me if I was harder, I would have placed higher than third, then that's a good sign to get harder and then do the next show because the first place guy is already pro. The second place guy may or may not be doing the show, and even if he is doing the show, if you're telling me I'll place higher than him if I was harder, then that would make sense for me to do the show, obviously. But that wasn't the feedback. The feedback is the condition is where it needs to be. Us black guys get a little bit of a pass because we got the... Oh, shit. God damn. Okay. Yeah, I was saying, us black guys, especially as West Africans, get a little pass with the with the condition, Not a big pass because we be losing too, obviously. But we got a little bit of a leeway because we got the muscle bellies, baby. We got that round shit going on. So Still gotta be in shape. Don't get it twisted. I mean, you know, some of us more than others, but we allow a little more leeway to be full and round and not have to look like Branch Warren or Jordan Hutchinson or Joe Palacios. Shout out Joe Palacios. But you know that look I'm talking about. Most black guys don't necessarily have to have that look. Nor can honestly, nor can most of us actually even get that look without looking like shit. Um, but yeah, I was told condition was where I need to be, and I just need to be bigger. You know, Chris Knox is shorter than me, um, so he have like a denser look. He have like a denser look. Dense the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I would say denser, or more filled out. His frame is more filled out than mine. You know, I don't know how much he weighs. It doesn't matter how much he weighs, but he's a little shorter, or quite a bit shorter probably, and more compact, right? So his frame looks more filled out, and then um, Pete. I'm sorry, I don't know. I hope I got his name right. I know him, but I'm just stupid. I'm retarded. But Pete, I think Pete or Peter. I think Peter's full name. Sorry, bro. But yeah, he has a bigger frame than me. I don't actually think he's more filled out than me. But he has a bigger frame than me, which counts for size as well. As long as you're not fucking lanky, I don't think he was like under muscled, but he was tall, and he wasn't under muscled, which is a fucking achievement. I mean, the dude is like got to be like 6'2" at least, you know, and not under muscled with a huge fucking frame. So yeah, so he would be bigger than me. I don't think he necessarily fills out his frame more than I do, but if he fills out his frame just as much as I do, but he's 2-3 inches taller than me, well, and has wider clavicles, then shit. I mean, then he's bigger than me, straight up, right? So there you go. So gotta be bigger. I'm not gonna be bigger in 3 weeks. I mean, you can create an illusion of being bigger by being fuller, but there's a trade-off. If you're fuller, you're gonna give up some hardness. Not necessarily condition. I don't think you don't have to give up leanness to be fuller, but fullness in itself is a game of glycogen.
In 1 mile, turn right to merge onto I-10 West.
And if you look up what glycogen means and how that works, then you understand that it's a matter of carbs, and carbs do hold water in the muscle, um, or the water helps shuttle the carbs into the muscle, and the muscle itself is more water than solid. That sounds stupid as fuck. The water itself is about 70. The muscle itself is about 70% water. So you shuttle some glycogen there. Um, Glycogen comes with the carbs, come with the water, right? So you eat rice. I don't know how much, what's the ratio, but most of that rice is fucking water, right? So um, to create that fullness, there's gonna be some water in play, right? So for somebody like me, that water is noticeable, and I don't appear as hard. So being fuller for me, from that look, will create a slightly softer look, which defeats the point because I'm supposed to keep the look just bigger, right? So the only way I can keep that looking bigger is to actually have a bit of new tissue. And when it comes to new tissue, people got to relax. Like you're not always gonna be being bigger isn't always a matter of gotta put on 10 pounds of muscle, bro. I'm gonna take 2 years off and gain 20 pounds of muscle, which never happens, by the way. The people that make the most gains are the people who compete. People who compete multiple times a year tend to make. I mean, look at track records yourself. Look at the people in the past 10 years who've taken 2 years off versus the guys who compete every year or even more than that, every 4 to 6 months ish, right? You got your Samsons, your Andrews, even your Nick Walkers. At least earlier on when he was putting on majority of size, was competing pretty often. Um, I'm not gonna call the guys who haven't made gains by taking time off because that's kind of rude. But I'm sure you guys know. I mean, I could call a few, I guess. Like somebody like Regan and Rafael Bernal. Um, take some time off. Sergio take some time off and haven't put on a ton of size. With all due respect, that's not like a dig or anything like that. Those are great guys, and I like those guys. I'm just being honest, straight up. You and then you have guys like Samson and, like I said, Andrew, Nick, and Keon. People who aren't taking any years off, but making the most gains. Obviously, they're genetic anomalies, genetic freaks, but that's not a coincidence. Jordan Hutchinson probably made some of the most gains we've seen. Joe Palacios made some of the best gains we've seen competing regularly. So, um, yeah, I mean, putting on 5 pounds of actual tissue, man. Not 5 pounds of fullness, not 5 pounds of glycogen, 5 pounds of water, 5 pounds of food in your stomach, 5 pounds of bloat, 5 pounds of tissue looks different. Okay, it looks noticeable. So, um, if I could give myself time to put on a little bit of tissue,
Go past this light, then turn right to merge onto I-10 West.
like I said, nationals would be 20 weeks, so obviously that would give me, well, the USA's next year would give me the most time, but that's a lot of time that
Turn right.
I don't necessarily want to wait till next year to compete. But yeah, the nationals. If we're talking about this year, the nationals would give me the most time, so that would be the most conducive to what they want me to bring. That doesn't mean, like I said, doesn't mean I'm doing nationals for sure, but that seems to make the most sense. Um, Amateur O, convenience wise, makes the most sense because it's in Vegas. I could drive up right up. I could just drive right up there, and
In 7.7 miles, take exit 1B toward Lincoln Boulevard and CA1 South.
and 10 weeks is a good amount of time to make sure everything's on point. But I won't necessarily be able to add tissue in those 10 weeks. I could add some pop to the muscle. I believe I could appear to have a better physique, but not actually real muscle tissue. Um, Maybe 1 pound. I mean, what the fuck is it? But yeah, so that makes sense too. So if we're looking at what makes the most sense, it would be amateur O or nationals in December. So those make the most sense. Um, Arnold amateur in March would be next year, but that wouldn't be bad neither. But yeah, so the full disclosure, the two main culprits I'm looking at would be amateur O and nationals. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Now, that aside, let's talk about what transpired as far as. No, this is. I should do that at home. Oh no, my camera broke. Shit. I should probably film a breakdown at home with pictures and shit. Right? Yeah. Let me keep it. Let me not break down the prep season in the car. I think a disservice. I'll do that with a better, with a better visuals and shit. So let's just talk about the workout, and then I'll cover this after. I'm ready to go Venice. A late workout before they close. Just gonna hit some push. Yeah, gonna hit some push. No, I'm gonna do chest and arms actually, because my split is a little off because of I kind of been hitting things by feel. So chest and arms actually today. I go to Venice before they close. Get a nice little pump. Training intensity at like 70%, probably 70, 80% max. Let my body recover. Still feel beat up. So let's see how that feels. First time pushing since the show. It's been about 8 days post show. This is the third workout. Third workout since the show. Third workout in 8 days. I think that's fair. I wanted to take a week off, but when this shit is in your blood, it's hard to take a week off. You know. All right, let's lock in. Let's get to the gym and get a little workout in. All right, so today we have chest and arms. The goal was to start with some incline barbell press, which is usually kind of my go-to movement for chest. I only train upper chest. I don't do lower chest. I don't do middle chest or whatever that's supposed to mean. Well, first of all, as you can see, I'm grimacing, I'm making a face, and I'm moving slow. That's because my shoulders are killing me. Okay. So I actually ended up not doing incline barbell press. As I'm warming up on 2 plates, I decided it would be smarter to do something that I can still progress and be able to move decent weight without pain. Because, okay, maybe I could have went up to 315 and do a set of 8 to 10, but then it would have killed my fucking shoulder. Then my next workout would be even worse. Then now I can't progress, and I can't even maintain the progression and strength. So some things just come with age and experience. With age and experience usually comes wisdom, and wisdom kind of separates bodybuilders from ego lifters, right? So I was warming up on the incline bench. Right off the bat, I felt my shoulder was just not in a position to incline press, right? But that part of me is still exists that wants to not be a bitch, right? It's always gonna be there, right? But you have to understand it's not about being a bitch or not. It's about what's the best case scenario to put yourself in a position to be your best on stage. That's what it comes down to. And you have to, if you really want to be a successful bodybuilder on stage, you have to really narrow that down. And it's going to take making sacrifices that don't seem like a big deal, but is everything. Okay, what I would have done 10 years ago is I would have been like, my shoulder hurts, maybe I can't do 365, so instead I'll do 315 and see what I can do. And what'll happen is you'll do it. You'll be able to do it with some pain, and then what happens is the next chest day, that pain will be just as much or worse. And then once again, you can't give your utmost intensity, so you won't take a step forward, and you continue doing that, continues to compound, gets to a point where you can't incline bench at all, and then now you're half-assing it on a hammer strength, right? Whereas you could have skipped that step and just went straight to the hammer strength, which my shoulders feel great now, and I can get basically 10 out of 10 working set on this. Boom. Next week my shoulders feel fine. I can do it again, or maybe I could revisit the incline bench next week or in a couple of weeks and get the best out of there. So what's going to happen is, over the course of those 4 weeks, I'm going to progress and add tissue. Whereas if I led by my ego or my pride, I would have lost tissue. Literally that simple. Gaining and losing tissue just by a mindset, right? I gotta, I'm hardcore. Yeah, my ego is telling me to lift this weight. It's not about that anymore. So, I'm still gonna train hard, still gonna train heavy, obviously, right? So, but in a way where you actually progress and you're not being a detriment to yourself because you want to be so hardcore. So, just something I learned. I mean, every one of us learns this eventually. It's not something you could teach because you have to go through it. I talked to some of the newer bodybuilders and or like people just starting their journey and you, you're talking to a wall, man. You can say it time and time again. They're gonna ego lift, they're gonna do the whole nine, and then they're gonna get hurt and they're gonna feel like shit and their chest won't grow and they'll have that whole process that we all go through. It's part of the game. But I'm way past that point now and I'm happy I am, and it doesn't I don't feel anything. I don't feel like this emotional pull to make sure I gotta do that incline bench. I could care less. I mean, that was my first choice. Can't do it, move on. I didn't force it. So now let's actually hit the set. Yeah, gotta get it done. So right now I'm just getting some blood in the muscle, keep it moving. Still training to failure. Volume is low. So total for this chest day, 4 working sets. That's it. So it's 1 working set. I'm gonna do another one here. Then I'll probably do uh, 2 other movements. Just 1 top set, and that's it each. And then I'll hit some arms. Arms, same thing. 4 working sets for triceps, 4 working sets for biceps. 2 exercises, 2 working sets each. And then as I get my energy, strength, all that shit back, brain energy, the whole nine, then I'll work up in volume slowly, 1 working set at a time. Probably maxed out at like 6 working sets, 6 to 9 working sets max. Probably not even that much because I'm gonna go into another prep. So I'll probably get up to like 6 working sets and then coast with that all the way through to the next prep. So as I was saying, decided to do something smarter that I could do without pain and not limit the weight I could use or limit my recovery by seeping into the next workout and so on and so forth, and then creating a situation where I can't train chest effectively. That'll be stupid and that'll be ego lifting at its finest, which a lot of us are guilty of early on in our career. So I ended up not doing that and opting out for that. So what I did do was the hammer strength, as you just saw. I was able to work up to, I think it was 4 plates. So that was, like I said, a decent amount of weight. Be able to keep my form and rep count. I like to hit at least 10 reps minimum. Sometimes more if I can. 10 is my sweet spot. So it worked out. Then I moved on to this Nautilus incline press. It's a great fucking machine. Really good contraction. I'm not a huge contraction guy. I'm a stretch guy. But when the machine offers contraction like that, you best believe I'm going to take full advantage of that sort of contraction. Okay, so that was it. I did 2 movements for chest, 2 working sets each. I might have done a 3rd working set on the Nautilus, but 4 or 5 working sets. That's it. Right now, this is literally a week after the show. I was sore as fuck after the workout because so what happens after a fucking show, after being depleted and all that shit. So I don't need 20 working sets for chest to stimulate the muscle. So I'm gonna do the least amount of working sets to stimulate the muscle, not the most. That's the key. don't do more than you need to in the gym. You do the least effective amount of sets. Intensity, now that's a different thing. Intensity has to be at the highest, even though right now it wasn't for me because once again after the show. But when I'm full tilt, intensity is 100%. Right now, intensity is probably like 80%, and volume was at like 70% of usual. So that's where I like to keep it and be able to.
Oh, thank you, bro. I appreciate you, Sam. Thank you, man.
And fucking cut, man. Your body fat's super low. Oh my god.
Thank you, bro. That's the goal.
It, bro. Stage is waiting.
I appreciate that.
So, like I said, yeah, chest and arms. So after chest, I went to biceps to give my triceps a little break from those measly 4 or 5 sets. So I move pretty quick. So I like to go bicep tricep because I'm resting like 20 seconds between sets. So when I do that, it only takes me about a minute to do 2-3 working sets. So when I'm done with that, I go to the opposite muscle. So then I keep the pump there because it's only a minute in between. So now my biceps are pumped, my triceps are pumped, and it feels good. If you have trouble getting the pump, you might need to just stick to one muscle, make sure it's fully saturated, but this works for me, and I like the feeling. And arms isn't really something I'm trying to bring up. I'm not trying to let it lack neither too much because I do have longer arms, but yeah, arms wouldn't be something I'm trying to bring up per se. I have pretty round arms, so I'm kind of okay with where it's at right there. We did a bunch of cables for arms basically. Didn't see the need to do anything with the dumbbells because my joints could take a hit. So I just wanted that smooth feel of the cable. Didn't want any friction, any pain. Right now, recovery is number one. Recovery of everything for me right now because in between shows, that's what I like to make sure I'm at. Okay. That's also why I'm not doing North Americans because I need to recover. So I'll dive more into that later after the workout. But I have to recover from a few things and make sure I'm good to go. I never want to bring a package that's less fucking impressive than the last package. That would be stupid. Okay, I'm not a pro card chaser. I do believe you could win a pro card at not your best with less competition. But who the fuck wants to do that? That's stupid. So I don't do stupid shit. So I just want to get better. I would rather get better and lose than get worse and win. That should be a quote somewhere. Definitely should be a quote. But here I am posing. This is what, a week post show now, 2 weeks. What are we on? It's a week, right? 2 weeks? A week. This is the week post show, I believe. Right? Yeah, it's the week post show. So as you can see, definitely a lot softer, obviously, than I was on stage. But that's okay. Gave myself a break, really ate up, holding some water. Not on any compounds at the moment, but those will be added in. I'd like to give myself at least 2-3 weeks if possible off of gear before I start the rebound. And I can't really call this not a full rebound. It's like an abbreviated rebound because I am going to do another show before the season ends, but I'm still going to call it a rebound. So I guess this is technically the freak bound. Is this freak round or this is prep? Either way, it's going to be episode 0 because this is I'm not in the full tilt of the rebound or the cut. So this is like a episode 0 kind of thing. So let's keep it episode 0, and then I'll decide.
Hopefully the lighting looks okay.
Or game time.
But hopefully your audio is okay as well. This is a different setup than usual. More of a vlog style. I don't got my camera no more. My camera's fucked up. So this is my phone. Hopefully the new iPhones are good enough to have some decent quality. I think it should be pretty decent quality. But as long as the lighting is good, the quality comes out pretty decent. But I guess I guess we'll see, right? But anyways, yeah. For first chest and arm day since the show. Um, First video in I don't know how long. So I guess I'll touch base. I don't remember the last video I made. It's probably like 8 weeks out or something, but that's probably I mean I was pretty much striking distance since probably 6 7 weeks out. So the last video you saw of me, I was probably only like I mean I competed at 250. So the last video you saw of me, I was honestly I was probably like 255, just different composition, right? How do I explain this? You guys, okay, let's say you guys prep for a show, right? Let's say most people who probably watch me, I don't know, let's say you're a light heavyweight, okay? So your weight cap is like 198. Let's say you get up to 220 and then you compete at 190, right? You start prep at 220. When you hit 200 on your way down, that looks significantly different than on your way up, right? On your rebound. That 200 looks a lot bigger and leaner and harder on the way up and the way down, right? So why is that? Just composition shift, different drugs, different levels of hydration, different levels of body fat. So at the last, like I said, I don't even remember the last time you guys saw me on video, but whenever you guys last saw me, I was probably only 5 pounds away from stage weight. Granted, I probably, had still a decent, more than 5 pounds of fat to go, or close to it at least. And yeah, so what happens is I lost body fat. I probably gained some muscle fullness. I wouldn't say muscle mass per se, but same difference. It's the same. Water weight in the muscle is, if you get a DEXA scan, it's still muscle, right? So yeah, I got leaner, fuller, harder at that weight. So you didn't miss much. It wasn't like I don't think the diet changed or the cardio changed since my last video. Honestly, I think it's been the same. Only thing is the last, let's say 2 weeks out, starting 2 weeks out, my calories did drop a bit. I dropped some fiber. I was doing some of those, you guys know those keto wraps? Yeah, I know it's not hardcore. It's that's some influencer shit maybe. I don't know, but yeah, I was doing that. I took that out. I wasn't really doing veggies, maybe some onions and mushrooms, which is fine, but I took those out. Not because I can't get lean with those in, but um, it's just, I just want no variables, literally no variables, not even fiber, you know. Do I need fiber to digest? Most people do, but honestly, I digested the food fine. And I was still taking the fiber supplement all the way to like a week out. Actually, all the way until like 3 4 days out, I was taking uh, Metamucil. I take Metamucil or Palumbo's Fiberlife. So when I'm trying to save money, which I find myself trying to save money a lot these days with all these dogs, so that's when I take Metamucil. Fiberlife is better, I would say, but I mean, sometimes I just want to get the job done. Anyways, where the fuck am I even going with this? So yeah, not much has changed. So you didn't miss much. All that you missed was just some suffering, some just being tired, some shitty workouts. Um, when I say shitty, I mean like to watch. It's shitty to watch. It's not fun to watch because I'm not hitting Ronnie Coleman weight. Like you saw today, this is similar training that I was doing sub 6 weeks out. Just decent form, good amount of reps, above 10 reps. And there's nothing exciting. Like training isn't training isn't supposed to be exciting. I mean, with all due respect, it's not supposed to be exciting. Like, are there people who get us hyped like Ronnie Coleman and Branch Warren? Yes, but they're not doing it to excite us. That's just how they train. And does that mean we should train like that? No, we shouldn't train like that. That's how they train, and it works for them. Doesn't mean we need to train like that. But you don't have to have somebody yelling at you. You don't have to be drenched in sweat. If you're in Texas, like them, probably should be. But you don't have to be yelling. You don't have to be dropping weights. You don't have to do any of that to train hard. All you have to do is stimulate the muscle and recover. That's it. That's it. It doesn't sound sexy because it's not. Nobody, the judges don't care how hardcore you look, even though it's badass like Brad Warren. But the judges don't care how hardcore you look. They care about the physique you bring. So that was the training. It was nothing worth showing that's gonna motivate you. Besides maybe me having my head down, looking like shit. Maybe that motivates some people. Like, look, he's feeling the pain and he's going through it. I don't know, but probably not. So it was nothing that captivating. I didn't have a lot to say because I was brain dead. So you guys didn't miss much. So to catch you up, I just coasted at that weight, got leaner, fuller, and I didn't talk about this because a pet peeve of mine is excuses. I fucking hate excuses, bro. When the show is over and then you got the fucking excuse train. Oh, this and that, and I was full flat, boom bap, boom bee bop bop. My cousin was sick and my toes hurt, and it doesn't matter. It's probably true because most people aren't gonna lie. It's probably true what happened, but nobody cares. You lost, either or you won. If you got sick and you won, great. If you got sick and you lost, too bad. The truth is, nobody gives a fuck. Obviously, somebody asks you, you tell them. So, anybody close to me who asks me, I told them. But I don't give a fuck about none of those excuses. I have no excuses. If you want me to explain to you how come, like in the past, how come your look goes to shit? Well, if I knew the exact answer, I would fix it, which I did now. But at the time, it was just calculating, just gathering evidence and figuring it out. But it's not an excuse. Everything doesn't have to be an excuse. Just I didn't get the placing, and time to get better. You know why you looked not how you're supposed to look, but everybody else doesn't need to know because they're not your coach, so they don't need the information unless they ask you. So you don't have to do this excuse train after every show. Anyways, a week out from the first show before the USA, I did the Los Angeles Grand Prix. Um, I don't know what happened exactly. I don't know if it was a stomach bug. I don't know if it was a tummy ache. I don't know if it was fucking stomach cancer. I don't fucking know what happened. Nothing. My diet was the same, so there's no variables, right? At least there's very little variables. I guess wherever you buy your meat, if the meat is tainted or whatever, that's something you can't account for. That is a variable though, but it's not a variable that I can fucking account for. I don't know. So uh, probably should have wrote this down somewhere. Let's say let's say I could probably find it in my text, but I'm not gonna look through it. Let's say the first show Saturday. Let's say Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday. Um, my carbs are really low. I actually cut sodium slightly, which I don't always do, but I wanted to just to see if I get a little bit drier without the use of diuretics. Probably won't do that again. But yeah, I cut sodium slightly. Basically, just stop using any seasoning that has sodium. And then started getting a little bit of cramps in my foot and hands, which I don't mind. If I felt that like show day, I wouldn't do anything about it because that's not enough to make me worried. But if I'm feeling that 5 days out, then that makes me worry because I'm like, by the time I get to the stage and I'm depleted, I would assume it would get worse if I haven't even started really depleting yet and I'm already getting cramps. So I decided to uh, to add. It was I think a half teaspoon of salt to my meal. Did that, continued to get some cramps. So then I added a a full tablespoon um, to my water, and I chugged it. And not too long after that, I started getting some stomach pains. Don't know if it's related, but that's the only thing I could think of that was kind of just completely different from what I've been doing the entire prep, right? So, removing some sodium, then adding quite a bit of sodium doesn't seem like it would cause any issues, but that along with anything else, or maybe unrelated, I don't know. I'm just telling you what happened in the order. Why it happened, I can't actually tell you, but this is what led to that. And then yeah, I had some of the worst stomach pain, not some of the, by far the worst stomach pain I ever had in my life. And every time I ate, my stomach would be on fucking fire. Then I would use the bathroom. At first, it was regular. I was TMI. It was regular, but just very painful. Then it kind of became diarrhea, and then that lasted. Damn, that lasted because on even on the way to check-ins, I was in severe pain. So that lasted all the way to fucking show day. Because I remember show day getting to the hotel and just stomach being on fire. So that lasted till show day. That lasted like 5 days out till show day, and I couldn't get any food down a couple of days. I want to say it was Thursday. I want to say like Wednesday, Thursday. I literally couldn't. Definitely Thursday. Definitely Thursday. Let's say Thursday, Friday. I couldn't get any fucking food down, any of my meals down. The only thing I was able to hold was bread. So I did bread with jam, um, bread with jam, and then burger and fries. The burger and fries didn't go down the best, but I figured it was dense enough that whatever I hold on, whatever doesn't, whatever, because I'm gonna, when you have diarrhea, you leak potassium and sodium, you leak electrolytes, potassium, sodium, right? So I figured I'm gonna have enough potassium, sodium from the burger, French fries, potato, potassium. I'm gonna have enough sodium, potassium from the burger and fries that even whatever I lose, I'm gonna keep some. And I was right. So between that and then the bread, um, well, first of all, those 2 days I lost about 8, 9 pounds, and then I was able to gain about maybe 6, 7 of those pounds back, and made it to stage. Stomach was hurting even backstage. But the funny part is, once you lock in on stage, there's no pain on stage, right? It's funny, like you never see a basketball player stop and say, "Oh, I got to take a shit. I got to go throw up." You never see it happen. I never seen a basketball player throw up on court. It's like once that blood is going and you just focused on posing or playing ball or whatever, everything goes away. Maybe it's there, you just can't feel it because of adrenaline. I don't know. But once it was game time, everything went away. Get off a stage, boom, stomach fucking flipping again. It's like clockwork, you know? It's like clockwork. It's funny how that happens. But anyways, yeah, made it to stage because of that, because of eating junk food and bread. I definitely held the film. Shit, more than the film probably. No, no, no. I was decently hard. No, I wasn't hard at all. I was in shape, but I wasn't hard. Let's say that. So my body fat was low, but I was holding water for sure. So you see it in my glutes. I was holding water in my glutes. Hams had some detail. Back had some detail. Quads had some detail. So felt like I was flat, and then I held water. So it was like smooth and flat. Not so dramatically that I looked like shit. I still looked good, but I was on the softer side and on the flatter side, but muscular and lean, right? I was muscular enough and lean enough for it to still be a good look, but because I was on the flat and watery side, it wasn't my best look, but it could have been. It was close. So I ended up losing the overall to the heavyweight Horatio. I think that's how you pronounce his name, Horatio, who's a local guy that very well known here. That I never knew him personally, but I was introduced to him by Chris Cormier He used to work out with Chris Cormier, probably still does. He used to work out with Chris Cormier and Jeremy Brandia and just guys in the in the world and the industry that we know. I would see him with them and seemed like a cool guy. I actually didn't. I knew he competed, but I never saw him on stage. I didn't know where he was at his career at the beginning. I didn't know, so he's just there. Oh, I didn't. I haven't seen him compete. I've never competed against him. I don't fucking know. But he was there, and he ended up winning the overall. He was in really good shape. Obviously, I was a lot bigger and shapelier, but he was in very good condition. And he ended up taking second in the heavyweights at the USA's. So shout out to him. Missed his pro card by one place, which is good. So yeah, he beat me, and when it happened, I'm kind of like, I know why he won. He was harder. I know I had tools over him, and obviously, I know if I was hard enough, I would have beat him. But it's irrelevant. Who the fuck cares? I mean, it's relevant, but okay, too bad, so sad. Nobody gives a fuck if you got a stomach bug or you got diarrhea. Nobody cares. So I didn't say shit. I didn't go post, oh, my stomach. Give a fuck. It is what it is. Okay, let's go get better. So stomach kept hurting for a couple of days more, but eventually it stopped, and I was able to go back to eating normal meals and got a little sharper. Um, didn't lose body fat in a week, but was able to get back where I was supposed to be in the first place, and then fell out the right way, which was not much. Um, I had a burger and fries Friday night, and that was my entire carb up. There was no other carb up. That was the only carb up. Everything else was low carbs. Show day before, everything was low carbs or no carbs, basically. Low, not no carbs, but very low carbs, like 50 to 80 max for the day. So came in USA's, placed third out of I don't know how many guys, out of how maybe 10 supers, 11 supers. I don't fucking keep count. But placed third, which is my highest placing and my best look by far. Finally kept my fullness and got lean. And yeah, so I was told come in bigger. So I'm going to come in bigger. Pretty simple, not much. I'm not a very emotional person when it comes to bodybuilding. I love it, I do it, and I take the placing I get and I keep it moving. It's not that deep for me. I love it though, and I always want to win. But people ask how you feel. How you feel? There's a lot of feel of it. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not making rants. I'm not. It's not that emotional for me. I was never bullied as a baby and had something to prove and wanted to beat up. It was never this deep origin story for me. I like lifting fucking weights. I like being swole. It's not that deep. Um, and I have decent genetics, decent to good genetics, or good genetics for the sport. So I'll fucking do it. Okay. And I do enjoy it. Now I enjoy competing. I didn't like competing before. I just like bodybuilding, the lifestyle. Now I enjoy the competition. The actual competing stage part is getting fun for me now. So I'm gonna continue to fucking do it until I no longer want to do it. I don't pro card chase, so please don't tell me to enter every qualifier and go to Jamaica and go to the Caribbeans and go to Mexico. That's not my interest. I'm not here to chase a pro card like there's no tomorrow. And I'm not gonna change my name to IFBB Pro by default and none of that. I'm not gonna get a IFBB tattoo on my neck or anything like that. That's not to downplay the fact that I want to turn pro, obviously, but I want to make the improvements. I want to actually represent myself as a pro, look like a pro, and earn it flat out. I want everybody to say that man fucking won, not oh we're close. Yeah. There's no sneaking around competition or pro card for me. I'm gonna do it my way, the way I want to do it. And if I don't get it, I don't fucking get it. I'm not gonna cry about it. It's not the end of the world. Nobody's gonna lose respect for me. Nothing in my life changes. Okay, but I want to do it, and I believe I will do it. Okay, when will that be? I don't fucking know, and I have no time limit on it. Just I'm gonna do it until I can't do it anymore. So that pretty much wraps it up. The gym is closing, so I got to get up out of here. I'll probably touch base more on the whole process. If I miss anything, let me know any questions or what you want to know. I did coach myself, but I learned everything I know from Compton. So I always give Compton credit. So if you see me giving Compton credit, it's because he deserves it. but I did coach myself, start to finish, off season, everything. Okay, so if you guys are interested in coaching, make sure to email me at teammacho@gmail.com, macho with two O's at gmail.com, or just DM me on Instagram at bodyfall, and follow me on Instagram at bodyfall. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And I catch you guys in the next video, motherfucker. Boom. Peace out.